Welcome to the Draft Countdown post Senior Bowl wrap-up show. The 2025 Senior Bowl is in the books. I am Brian Bosarge, along with Brian Lamb. You've seen us all week long. We just finished watching the Reese Senior Bowl game. What a game! What a finish! Anyway, I would say what a game. What a game might be over-exaggerating a little bit. What a finish! American team, last play of the game, walk-off, 2-yard touchdown pass from Seth Hennigan to Jack Besh, the receiver from TCU. American team, for the first time ever, wins the Senior Bowl 22-19. And Jack Besh, what a story, the wide receiver from TCU. Brother, we mentioned earlier this week's brother died in a terrorist attack in New Orleans. Wins the MVP, had, 7 catches for like 56 yards, something like that, and the go-ahead touchdown. Brian, your biggest thoughts from today's game as far as it goes?
I think it's got to be Jack Besh. He came out early. He just played really well. Got into a rhythm early, and just continued to show that. As did Jackson Dart. Riley Leonard started the game. Dart came in relief, and you really felt a different pace, a different momentum, and they were able to lead the team down. Another thing is 2 running backs threw touchdowns. Yes. Which I don't think anybody expected would happen. And, just a real change of pace there.
Yeah. Ollie Gordon threw one for the national team. And was it R.J. Harvey?
Yeah.
The running back from UCF, who apparently was a high school quarterback. And but moved to running back when he went to UCF. He threw a touchdown as well. Seth Hennigan, again, with the touchdown. Notice we haven't talked about Jalen Milroe, as audible groans throughout the press box with his play. It was a rough game for Jalen Milroe. 1 out of 4 days were good for Milroe, 3 bad, and today was one of those. We might have to start talking about that position switch.
Maybe his worst day. Yeah.
It was bad. Olufemi Oladejo, edge rusher from UCLA, I think had at least 2 sacks, a bunch of pressures today. The UCLA guy, he capped off a great week. Darius Alexander Toledo had a good day today as well. Not a good day for the offensive line. Carson Vinson, the offensive tackle from Alabama A&M, he looked over his skis a little bit today. But in his defense, the American team, I believe they only had 2 probably legit offensive tackles on the team because of all the defections, if you will. What was our final number? 35 players who started the week of practice this week did not play end up playing in today's game. Including several offensive linemen. The national team, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, had 2 cornerbacks on the entire roster, and they both were switched over from the American team between the end of Thursday's practice and today. That was Melvin Smith from Southern Arkansas and Jonathan Williams from Tulane. Both made the switch over to the national team. I see comments going off over there. I can't read them. Douglas in the comments there, who were the offensive defensive MVPs? We don't know who was awarded the defensive MVPs yet, or the offensive MVP. The overall game MVP was Jack Besh from TCU. We haven't seen any of the other awards. So not 100% sure on that yet. I'm going to write a post-game report at some point tonight, and when I get that information, I'll have it in there. You can find that at draftcountdown.com. Any other guys stood out for you today, Brian?
Kobe Hudson, the wide receiver out of UCF. He came in to practice on Thursday. Yeah. Just without anything else, just practicing on Thursday. Came out here, I thought he made some good plays. Got involved a little bit. As did, I was hard on him earlier in the week, but Bowling Green tight end Harold Fannin Jr., I thought he got a couple good shots there. Kind of a guy that really showed this week, though, where you can and where you can't play him.
Yep.
But also showed you what he's capable of when he is played right.
And staying with that offensive or that tight end position, I thought C.J. Dupree, Alabama, had a good game today. The interior offensive line was kind of fun to watch today. Gray Zabel, Gray Zabel from North Dakota State for the national team. Jackson Slater from Sacramento State on the American team. I thought Willie Lampton had a good game again today. Good game to go on with this week of practice. A team's got to find a way to get that guy on the roster.
Yeah,
I'm at a loss at this point. I can't talk about it anymore as to why. Trying to think of the other interior offensive linemen that may have stood out. But I know Junior Tafuna, the defensive tackle from Utah, I thought he had a good day. We did have a bad situation at one point. Utah linebacker Karani Reed left the game, looked like a leg injury of some kind. And when you see that, it sucks because that's what every agent watching the game today was like, yep, that's why we don't want our guys playing in this game. That's why you have 35 guys end up leaving either practice or don't play in the game at all. And when Reed gets hurt, that's the first time I've seen a guy get what looked like a serious injury in the game in a long. If maybe in my 10 years of covering this game as credential media, I feel like that's the first time. I'm anxious. Hopefully it's not bad. Hopefully it's not as bad as it looked. We'll find out about Reed's injury at some point between now and the next couple of days, I would imagine. Trying to think of anybody else that might have stood out. There was really no running backs that stood out other than throwing the ball. Ollie Gordon, he had some good runs today. But, you had 6 running backs on each team. Hard for any of them to really – Jarquez Hunter didn't even enter the game until the fourth quarter. And the running back from Auburn, and he had a couple of catches. On that final drive on Hennigan's leading down for the touchdown. That's it. That's we're gonna wrap it up. American team 22-19 wins the 2025 Reese Senior Bowl, and that's gonna wrap up this week for Draft Countdown and our coverage. I want to thank Brian for being here with me all week. And everybody who's followed along either on draftcountdown.com or on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/thedraftcountdown. If you're new to the channel watching any of these streams, just hit that subscribe button, like the videos, share them, all that good stuff. We want to continue growing this channel. For Brian, I'm Brian. Until next year from the Reese's Senior Bowl, good night, everybody.